This is a great question and I'd love to explain it to you. If you're new here, this is a mini-series on my roommate from hell. I finished school in February and needed to find a new place to live. I couldn't stay living in my dorm and things were super last minute. I didn't want to sign a traditional 12-month lease because I didn't know how long I wanted to stay in New York City. So I was hoping to find an affordable sublease situation where I could rent month to month. So I joined a Facebook group with people who were subleasing rooms and apartments. And that is when I found the dream apartment. This woman was subleasing a room in this gorgeous, spacious apartment in Upper Manhattan. It was right on budget. So I reached out to her, and the next day I went up there and met her and saw the place, and I just immediately loved the apartment. I did not immediately love her. I would describe her at the time as like a very uptight, tightly wound person. She would talk over me. I could never get a word in. She would just talk at me the whole time. But I urgently needed to move into a new place in like less than a week. And I thought, okay, we're not gonna be best friends, but she's clean, tidy, she'll keep to herself, and so will I. We were compatible in those senses. At the time, I was also looking for a live-in nanny position, which would make it so I was only living at the apartment like half the week. And she liked that because she wanted a roommate who was never around. And I wasn't for a while. The day after I moved in, I traveled, I went and saw my long-distance partner, and then I went back to Oregon to visit my family. And then as soon as I got back, I immediately went on job trials where I was gone for like 2 weeks. So the whole first month of me living there, I basically wasn't home. And she loved that. And then everything came crashing down and suddenly I was home. And she hated that because she wanted to have a roommate who was paying rent, but she didn't want to have another person living with her. And she hated me, and she made it very clear that she hated me. And she abused the hell out of me. And the way she would yell at me was traumatizing. If there was a drop of water on the counter, she would yell at me to come out of my room. I don't know if she thought she could treat me that way and take advantage of me because I'm a young person, but it was completely inappropriate. I get choked up talking about it still because it was actually very traumatizing. I would lay awake in bed at night, like not able to sleep. I felt a lot better after I got a lock on my door because I felt a lot safer, but I was seriously living in fight or flight mode the entire time I was with her. Eventually, I started standing up for myself and we would get in screaming fights pretty much every day. If I was able to get out of the apartment and avoid her that day, it was a good day. And it was really hard too because she worked from home and she exercised from home. She basically never left that apartment ever. So I would get up and I would, as quickly as possible, leave the apartment and come back super late at night so I would just not have to be around her. Oh, but she'd call me and she'd scream at me on the phone too. So yeah, don't move in with someone who is crazy.